Welcome to Supers Live. This is the Supermodified Ultimate Broadcasting or Ultimate Broadcasting. No, let's try that again. This is the Supermodified Ultimate Pavement Racing Series. I guess you could consider us the Supermodified Ultimate Broadcasting Series too, since we've been doing it for 5 years now. I think 4 years. Hey man, we have got a big show on tap tonight, June 16th, 2020. It's the 15th annual Jim Shampine Memorial at Oswego Speedway. We are glad that you could join us, and we are happy to be able to bring this event to you. It is a very special one to all the Supers racers, and it's also a very special one to the name Shampine, very special to all of Supermodified racing. You know, Jim Shampine was a 7-time Oswego Speedway champion. And he not only won more features at Oswego Speedway than any other driver, but he had 3 International Classic 200 wins to his name. He was a 2-time winner of the Star Speedway International Classic 200. He helped found and was the 1977 champion for the International Supermodified Association. And he also won the Bud Mod 200 3 times. But one of the big things was he was known as a father of the modern radical offset Supermodified. You know, prior to his death in 1982, in the modified 200 at Oswego Speedway, Shampine's legacy was well established, and it continues on to this day as one of the most talked about in all of Supermodified circles across the country. His design is still what is being used essentially to this day. And had they not banned his radical rear engine offset Supermodified, who knows where we would be today. So Jim Shampine, a great innovator, a great racer, and a wonderful human being, and we are going to remember him tonight with the running of the SUPRS 15th Annual Jim Shampine Memorial. One thing that we want to talk about tonight is that we're going to make a donation to Families Fighting Flu. Families Fighting Flu is near and dear to the Shampine family, as Jim Shampine's daughter Cerise and her husband Joseph Murata, was had a child that died of the flu on October 18, 2009. At 5 years old, Joseph Murata passed away from flu. And with everything that's going on in the world today, with the coronavirus and COVID-19, we think it would be a good thing to help them out and remember that those people that have lost children, especially to the influenza virus, that we remember them and help them out and help them get vaccines for their children. So we'll be making a donation to that. You can make a donation as well by going to familiesfightingflu.com. That's familiesfightingflu.com. You can make a donation. As we look down through the list of history for the Jim Shampine Memorial here for the Supermodified Ultimate Pavement Racing Series, our first one run at Jennerstown Speedway, and it was won by Dandy Dave Soja. And Dave was a staunch competitor back in the day, but he had never won a Supers race, and his first win was a real big one. It was the Jim Shampine Memorial at Jennerstown. And then in 2007, Miles Maxon won. 22 cars, by the way, were the first ever starting field for the Jim Shampine Memorial. There was 6 different leaders, and that was the most ever at that one that Soja won. Miles Maxon won his first one, and then in 2008, it was the first time we ran at Oswego Speedway after it was finished for SUPRS, the very first online sim racing sanction to bring the famed Oswego Speedway, the home of the Supermodifieds, to the online virtual racing world. And Miles Maxon was the winner, and there was 21 drivers entered. He became the first 2-time winner. And then in 2009, Chris Hevron won an important race to his family, the Shampine Memorial. Chris Hevron, his father, Doug Hevron, was mentored by Jim Shampine. And then in 2010, John Davidson won the first of his 2 Jim Shampine Memorials. And again, he went back-to-back in 2011. In 2012, the race was shortened to 75 laps, And we had our second Ohio winner with Dave Biro III. Then in 2013, after trying for the longest time, the guy that has the second most wins on the SUPRS win list, Ray Sand Jr., the Sandman, won in the closest finish in Shampine Memorial history over Miles Maxon. Miles Maxon became the first three-time winner in 2014, and then Ray Sand Jr. won again in 2015 in the first R-Factor Jim Shampine Memorial. Rocket Rob Warren then went on a tear. He won his first Shampine Memorial in 2016. He did it again in 2017, and then in 2018, he became the first three-in-a-row winner. Last year was a very cool deal. We had our first rookie winner of the Jim Shampine Memorial, and that was Brad Keyser. So Keyser's your defending champion of the Shampine Memorial. Earlier, before the broadcast, we put the cars on the track for time trials. We locked in the Elite 8 cars. They did a pill draw for the inversion, but not before Dave Ose broke his own track record and set a new one, 15.917 seconds. 15.917, the new track record. The old track record was a 15.920 that Speedy Man had and was set back in July of last year. He just keeps getting faster. Dave O has won the last, we've got to look, I think it was the last six non-wing super modified races here at Oswego Speedway. He's been on a tear. He has won the first two of the season, and he's looking for his third win in a row. Last seven non-wing super modified shows that SUPRS has run at Oswego have been won by Dave-O. In fact, he hasn't been beaten in a non-wing super modified at Oswego Speedway since the mid-season championship last year. That is something to behold. Points, not a lot of change right at the top because Dave-O, of course, has won the first two races. But there was a whole lot of mixing up after last week's race, which he won at Oswego Speedway as a NASCAR heat event. And there was a lot of mixing up and mixing around, the rookies moving around a little bit, and some movement throughout the field. Steve Callahan making all the shows so far this season, doing a good job, and setting second in points right now. Well, folks, we want to remind you that throughout the night you can visit our merch store and enjoy some SUPRS merch. We would love to have you wear a SUPRS t-shirt at your local racetrack as they start to open back up around the country. In fact, the first real super modified show of the season is this weekend at what we like to call Indianapolis Raceway Park, but what is officially known as Lucas Oil Raceway. The Indy Summer Nationals is coming on up this weekend, and you can find out more about that at MidwestSupermodifieds.com or MustSeeRacing.com. There'll be a live broadcast of that event. If you can't make it to Indianapolis to Lucas Oil Raceway, we encourage you to check it out online, and you can go to MustSeeRacing.tv for more details. It's a $25 ticket cost. There's also some great drag racing during the same weekend. Tickets are $25 for the oval or $25 for the live broadcast. As always, we encourage you to get to the track for real super modified racing. Folks, don't forget you can become a member of the original Super Modified Sim Racing Sanction when you go to supers.net, click the About tab, learn a little bit about us, and then you can become a member of the original Super Modified Sim Racing Sanction.